So, what made you commit to UCF over every other school that was recruiting you? Like, but before you even get to what made you commit to UCF, what other schools were highly recruiting you?
Yeah. So the schools that were highly recruiting me was the University of Cincinnati, University of South Florida, Middle Tennessee, Southern Miss, Vanderbilt. That was my first SEC offer. Um, those were the schools that were really high on me. They really, East Carolina as well. And UConn. Well, I'm sorry. I had like about 10 schools that were really on me. UConn was the first one. And they was in the Big East at the time. Then South Florida was also in the Big East. UCF, Southern Miss, Middle Tennessee, and Vanderbilt. So I'll probably make those schools the ones that were really recruiting me highly at the time. I had over 25 offers out of high school, which was, it almost got to a point where it got to be too much, because you're looking at all these different schools. So I had to kind of like learn how to narrow it down, based off of some of the preferences that I wanted. I wanted to be pretty close to home so my mom and my family could see me play. Also, I wanted to be somewhere where it wasn't crazy cold. I didn't want to do the crazy cold all like that because I grew up in Florida, so I just love to be in the sun and being able to work out in the sun. I feel like that makes us faster and stronger in those aspects. So, those are the schools that were highly recruiting me. Vanderbilt was really making a heavy push, and I really was considering Vanderbilt for one because it was an SEC school, but also because they say Vanderbilt is like the Harvard of the South. If you get a degree from there, you can do anything, coming from Vanderbilt. So, that was one school that was really heavy. And South Florida was, my number one option. And I don't never, it's funny because I always have to tell this story, but I never really want to tell it. But it's crazy because I wasn't going to go to UCF. My cousins went to UCF. I had family members who went to UCF, and they loved it. But on the football side, I didn't really see the value in playing down there. You know what I mean? I didn't know that Orlando would really change my life when I got there, but I really thought Tampa was. Shout out to my cousin Sam Barrington. He played at Terry Parker High School. He a legend in Jacksonville. He played running back and linebacker. He went to the University of South Florida, and that was the main reason why I thought I might want to go down there because I wanted to be able to learn from him. And he played in the NFL for the Green Bay Packers and New Orleans Saints, and he's doing real well for himself now. But I always, admired him. So I was thinking, maybe I can go down here because so I can learn some of the things he's learning. And so I was very high South Florida. I'm coming to school with the South Florida Bull hat on. Everybody like, OTP going to South Florida. He's in South Florida. But it's funny because I was number one on their board. But when I went down there for my official visit, they ended up signing too many linebackers, and they took my offer away from me with my mama and my aunt there. So when that happened, it really made me reevaluate things. And my wife, who went to high school with me, she was going to UCF. So she said, "Man, why don't you just give UCF a try? Why don't you just go down there? I'm telling you, it's nice." I went on my official visit. Loved the school. Coach O'Leary came to my basketball game the week before I had my official visit, and so that's how I ended up being a UCF Knight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So hold on. Now we're not just gonna gloss over that. They took your offer from you while you were
on my official visit.
How did that end up happening, man?
Man, it was crazy. So I had a basketball game that Friday. So usually your official visit goes from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, with your official visit. But I had a basketball game. It's my senior year, and we trying to make a playoff push. So I was like, I gotta play in this basketball game. So I told him, hey, I'm gonna be down after the basketball game that Friday, probably a little later in the evening, go to the hotel, and then Saturday, that's when you really do the visit. You go with the coaches and everything, and they have a player take you out or whatever you do. So, I don't know if they took that as like I wasn't taking the visit serious because I wanted to play basketball at the time. But at that point in time, I was telling them, you guys are my number one school. I'm coming to basically come on this visit and sign with you guys. Like I want to sign on the dotted line and make it official. So I don't know what happened in that meantime, and there was a whole bunch of other linebackers on that visit with me. And I was one of the last guys to go in there and talk to the head coach. And when I got in there, man, he just told me, hey, man, we might have to move some stuff around, but right now we can't offer you. We're not going to offer you. And it really, that really put a fire under me because it really hurt because my mom and my aunt who helped raise me, you know, I would spend summers down in West Palm Beach like I was telling you. They was there and they was so confused when it happened that, I was upset and they was upset. But at the end of the day, it ended up being a blessing in disguise because I ended up going to UCF and we were 10 times better than South Florida could have ever been while I was at South Florida and currently now. And, and every time I got to play South Florida, I put it on them too. So that was a blessing in disguise, man. But they really took my scholarship, my offer away on my official visit.
Wow.
You know.
Man. And it's